Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain's Videoblog. We are Tuesday, November the 8th, 2016, and yeah, tonight is the night. I thought that I would be, mostly clear of talking about the elections, the election, uh, but because it's before midnight and all that, but turns out that, there's always this thing, and it had actually escaped me. This town in New Hampshire that is the first in the nation. It's the whole gimmick. There's a lot of journalists that go there because, well, it's the first place in the US to vote, and therefore, it's a big event. They have the polling station that opens at midnight. So yeah, by 6 a.m., bit after 6 a.m., there were already news about that. And in that place where there aren't a lot of voters, well, Clinton won. She had like 4 votes, and Trump had 2, and Gary Johnson had 1, and Mitt Romney had 1 as a write-in. So yeah, and other news. Trump has apparently been taken his Twitter privileges. Uh, okay, sure, but then again, what his campaign team tweeted during the day isn't much better than what he would do. Uh, so yeah, what else was there? Yeah, he got booed. He and his wife got booed when they went out to vote. There was this photo of him looking at his wife voting, which is a big invasion of privacy. Actually, I think that it's kind of illegal. I mean, at least in France, it would be illegal to peep on someone who is voting. And there's been a photo released later. I don't know how true that photo is, though, of one of his sons doing the same with his own wife, which is extra creepy. It's also maybe part of a thing where they say it's all men who do that when it's really not the case. So yeah. I don't know. I haven't been to Montpellier actually today, which is a good thing in itself because I received the last item from Poland. So yeah, now I'm all set. I can leave the home without fearing that someone else might. Someone else. I mean, someone from my family, which is still kind of a gray area for me to receive my stuff and sign for my stuff, which is what happened on Thursday because I wasn't up, or Friday rather, when I wasn't up and the thing from Japan arrived. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna watch Smackdown and then I'm gonna go to my bed and follow the different programs that are following the election from my bed, and then I will maybe get up and hope for the better, for this long day that's shaping up. Uh, anyway, yeah. So let's talk about Raw. So Raw was in Glasgow, the same as SmackDown actually, which is apparently a point that was mentioned during Raw. The fact that since they were in the same town, Stephanie expected Shane to show up, but he was taken by some obligations, so he didn't do it, and Stephanie thought that it was lots of bullshit, or maybe she couldn't be on SmackDown tonight. I'm not sure, but at any rate, next week Shane will be on Raw with Daniel Bryan. There will be a stage of the WWE Universe. How fucking topical. So yeah, one thing that I hated about this Raw was just how long it felt. They were at the top of every hour, so the first hour, second hour, and the third hour, around 10 to 15 minute promo, showing up that there are huge ego problems within the teams for Survivor Series, which is not really something you want to showcase in the middle of the ring for a quarter of an hour. But I guess that Raw cannot do anything else. That's the way they do it, which is kind of sad actually. So yeah, but I mean the crowd was really good when they weren't muted because Vince surely had the that hand on the volume button, and down it goes when you don't want something to be heard, such as icy dub chants when Noam Dar debuted, because Noam Dar debuted, huge pop. Three biggest pops of the night were Noam Dar, Chris Jericho, and Bayley. Honestly, the pop for Chris Jericho is something entirely deserved. He can work a crowd so well with Kevin Owens that it's a bit criminal. So yeah, the first thing of the night was the men. So Braun Strowman, Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, and Roman Reigns, and they were kind of bickering about because Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens are co-captains of the team. Chris Jericho a bit delusional about being the Universal Champion because Kevin Owens is. But okay, sure. Stephanie came out. Rollins was announced as the fifth man, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, but he got a decent pop, so it's always good. Then there was some more bickering and some fighting, and Stephanie didn't have any of that shit, so she announced a fatal five-way match, which is really the same kind of idea that it's the same in the same realm as putting them all five men together in a big get-together shirt. That would have been fun actually. So yeah. Then there was Noam Dar debuted as the partner to the Brian Kendrick, who faced, if I'm not mistaken, it was Sin Cara, maybe, and Rich Swann. I gotta say that I didn't really pay attention to a lot of what happened on Raw. I just know that TJ Perkins didn't fight, which was kind of weird actually. But yeah, the funny thing is, the Brian Kendrick ate the pin, and then he blamed the loss on Noam Dar. Obviously because he's a huge heel, and Noam Dar is, he's said to be face, and it's pretty much his hometown. Kinda, he's Scottish, so it's his own home country. That kind of works, right? Yeah. That's kind of, that would be strange in the US when you would have, for example, someone from Cleveland debuting in Cincinnati, and you say it's the same state, really, and but maybe the guys from Cincinnati hate the guts of people from Cleveland, and the other way around. Have you thought about that? Obviously, he's not from Edinburgh, so that's still kind of, it's not bad, but so that's always pretty much obviously was a setup for Noam Dar to get some retribution and to go with a huge pop, which happened. And it's always nice to have someone having such a warm welcome, even though it's a home crowd. But it's always good, it's kind of, when it happens on TV, it will encourage the fans, on the other side of the Atlantic, to do the same, to be behind Noam Dar, because at the end of the day, he's not very well known in the US for people who don't have the network, so you gotta get him over one way or another. Um, so yeah, the second hour started with a pretty um, lengthy segment with all the teams involved in the Survivor Series 10 on 10 match, with the fifth team of Team Raw revealed to be the Golden Truth. Sure, why not? So there was also a lot of bickering about, especially between Sheamus and Cesaro, because they don't get along. Ooh. Until the New Day arrived. Well, I wouldn't say dressed as traditional clan Scottish men, but rather as what Mel Gibson sees as Scottish men, Braveheart and all that. Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe the length is what took so much, from the segment, because Enzo and Cass and the New Day, even they had some really cool moments for them. Biggie starting to try a Scottish accent, but Kofi says it sounds more like a pirate, and you're like, yeah, kinda. And never take our freedom, and the crowd popped because Scotland, am I right? So yeah, they wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page. Apparently not, because they had to face Gallows and Anderson, and Gallows and Anderson won because it's not about Team Raw, it's about themselves, and yeah. But they take a victory over the New Day, which is always nice for guys who I think are treated like shit. So yeah. Then there was another match, because backstage the Golden Truth had some problems, maybe a bit because of the Shining Stars, with Goldust not buying it at all. So yeah, they set up a match against the Shining Stars, and the team who won would be in Team Raw, which was really dumb. The Shining Stars won via shenanigans. Epico, he pulled a little presentation of the Shining Stars timeshares in Puerto Rico, and he gave it to Goldust, who tore it. And well, I mean, Epico did the pin, but he had the feet on the rope. So yeah, the Shining Stars are going to Survivor Series. I mean, that's not really better than the Golden Truth, but in a way that's really worse, to be quite honest. So yeah, then probably the best segment of the night, really, with the women, because the crowd, they were really trying to put Bayley over. They chanted for a long, long time, hey Bayley, ooh, I wanna know. The really cool chant. It's really enthralling. It makes you happy, and I mean, it's kind of a shame that everything is so scripted in the WWE, because the only people really reacting to it well were Charlotte, who really healed it up, putting her fingers in her ears, trying to stop it, but it only made the chant louder. And yeah, so when Bayley arrived, in the US this was pretty criticized, which is really dumb. And they said, yeah, they're trying to put themselves over, which is obviously wrong. Come on now. It's just European people having fun. There's really nothing else to it. If you watch a football match, or really anything with a crowd in Europe, you will see that the people, they are really trying to be part of the fun, because well, they are having fun, and they want the people who are really involved, the people who are putting on the show, to know that they are having fun, and this is motivating them. And Bayley very much felt it. And it's not as if it was the first time she had that kind of chant, because that was all over the UK in the last NXT tour of the UK. So I mean, come on now. It just a difference in cultures when you watch American sports, and I had a very much an example of that when there was the match of the Seahawks versus the Buffalo Bills, on the TV. It's not the same. It's not the same ambience. You have the crowd. They are not chanting the whole match. And I remember when last time I went to see a football match, that was in May. Not only did I chant the whole fucking match, I also chanted the 6 hours before the match. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of the things we do, and maybe the people who are too ingrained in the American way of seeing entertainment can't really feel the same. They think that it's annoying. They feel that the crowd sucks, and they are trying to pull the rug under the entertainers and be the entertainers. But no, it was really a crowd having fun and trying to make people understand that they really like Bayley. I mean, the next match was a 3-on-3 women's match, and when Bayley had the pin on Charlotte, well, the crowd exploded. When Bayley got tagged in, the crowd exploded. That's the kind of things the crowd does. So yeah, leave it be, really. What can I say more? Was there another match? There was Sami Zayn, who is also very appreciated in Scotland, who won a qualifying match against Rusev, which is really dumb. You shouldn't have a qualifying match. It was for the Intercontinental title. Ziggler Open Challenge. That's kind of the thing with an Open Challenge. You don't get to decide who takes part in it, and yet Stephanie said, "Yeah, you're gonna have to win against Rusev if you want to answer that challenge." And that's really dumb. Why? Maybe because she doesn't like him. She said that. So yeah, Sami Zayn won with a hell of a kick right in the temple. Jesus, that was huge. And then there was a fatal 5-way that Owens won with thanks to Roman Reigns, actually, who got booed, and the boot got muted because don't boo the man. The boot got muted, and Roman Reigns in the final minutes of the match. It was a pretty crazy match. There were tables, there was Singapore canes, candlesticks, and yeah. So Roman went with a Superman punch on Owens, who pinned Jericho, and the face on Roman Reigns when he realized what he did, he was like, "Oh, I am dumb. I am a stupid idiot." Actually, well, that was that, I guess. I mean, Smackdown isn't going to need to put on a really good show to blow Raw out to the water. If that's the whole thing. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the last minutes of Obama's presidency, I guess, even though he's actually president until January. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow when the world probably has ended. Bye.